Om. A very good morning to you all, friends. My loving regards, good wishes, and greetings to you all. You are most welcome to this early morning session of the Students' Awareness Program on Value Education for Life Building and Successful Living. This early morning session will be devoted to the theory and practice of yogasanas, pranayam, concentration, meditation and prayer. Today on this fast day, we will discuss very briefly about the theory, that is the simple meaning, importance and benefits of yogasanas, pranayams, concentration, meditation and prayer. The remaining days will be devoted to training and practice of the same. Now let us chant some mantras. Spine erect, head straight, eyes gently closed. Inhale deeply and while exhaling chant Om 3 times. Now repeat the Shanti mantra after me. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karabhavahe Tejasvinabadhitamastu Ma vidvisavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now gently open your eyes. The meaning of this auspicious mantra is Om. May he protect us both, the teacher and the taught. May he cause us both to enjoy protection. May we both exert to find out the true meaning of the scriptures. May what we study become lustrous. May we never quarrel with each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. Then let us discuss the simple meaning, importance and benefits of yogasanas, pranayam, concentration, meditation and prayer. First is yogasana. Its meaning is, the simple meaning of yogasana or asana is firm and comfortable physical posture. Stiram Sukham Asanam. There are 84 main asanas and out of that 32 asanas are found very useful for mankind. In this short duration session, first we will practice some body stretching exercises. Then we will practice only 11 important asanas. Those are Surya Namaskar, Savasana, Sarvangasana, Matsyasana, Halasana, Paschimottanasana, Bhujangasana, Salabhasana, Dhanurasana, Ardha Matchendrasana, and Padmasana, the lotus pose. Now the benefits of yogic exercises. Good health is the greatest asset. Without good health, one can hardly expect success in every phase of life. To keep up good health, there are numerous modern physical culture systems designed to develop the muscles. The physical culturists develop them by mechanical movement and exercises. In such physical exercises, there is a fast movement of the muscles resulting in the rapid functioning of the heart and lungs. The practitioner becomes exhausted very quickly. There may also be anxiety, psychological tension, and fear. Some exercises develop the chest and arms only, which becomes lopsided and results in disharmony in the personality. But in yogic exercises, there is harmonious development of all the muscles of the body, internal organs, nerves, and the frame. There is no rapid movements and hence there is no waste of energy. In yoga exercise movements, there is gently and rhythmic. On the other hand, they conserve energy. The three important organs, those are heart, lungs, and brain, with its cerebrospinal system, are kept in a healthy condition by regular practice of a few important asanas and one or two breathing exercises. Sound functioning of the organs depends upon good healthy nerves. The tripod of life are the brain, heart, and lungs. The heart and the lungs are under the control of the brain. These three important organs, along with the cerebrospinal system, are kept in a healthy condition by regular practice of yogic exercises. If the muscles are not given proper exercises, they will tend to contract and there will be stiffness and heaviness in the body. Blood circulation and nerve force will consequently be impeded. Their malfunctioning will disturb the organs. Some of the yogic exercises concentrate on the development of the muscles also, consistent with the development of all other parts as well. These yogic exercises are both preventive and curative in their nature. On the whole, they prevent diseases attacking the body by maintaining the natural health. Some exercises also cure existing diseases like cold, cough, constipation, and gastric troubles. Some yogic exercises involve forward and backward bendings. Others help the lateral movement of the spine. Some clean the lungs, throats, etc. Thus, the body as a whole is developed, toned up, and strengthened by practice of yogic exercises. The entire body becomes flexible, thereby preventing stagnation of blood in any part of the body. Another unique feature of these exercises is, however, their influence upon the endocrine system of glands, the ductless glands as they are called. The malfunctioning of the thyroid, pituitary, and pineal glands is corrected by a course of selected yogic exercises. Besides all this, some of the exercises have great effect upon man's mind, his power of concentration and memory. They also wake up his dormant spiritual faculty. The prana or the vital force is externalized in modern physical exercises, whereas in yogic exercises, the pranic current flow inwards. These yogic exercises help to improve the health by regulating the functioning of internal organs. Their regular practice brings to every practitioner a very good health, longevity, strength, and vitality. By practicing the yoga asanas regularly with care and caution, the personality as a whole will become pleasing and attractive. This system is simple, exact, efficacious, economical, and capable of being practiced without any extraneous help when once a preliminary knowledge about it is obtained. Now, the important instructions, a word of warning and caution. There are certain do's and don'ts here which should be adhered at any cost to derive maximum benefits and avoid harmful results by practice of yoga. First, generally yogasanas may be practiced by young people only after 12 years of age and not before. The minimum age limit is higher for certain specific asanas like Sirsasana and Sarvangasana. Secondly, practice of asanas for curing diseases must be done under the personal supervision and experienced instructor. Thirdly, those who are suffering from chronic eye disease, running ears, high blood pressure, and heart troubles should not practice yogasanas. They can, however, practice relaxation in Savasana alone, which will be very beneficial for them. Fourthly, get up early in the morning at 4 or 4:30 am. This is known as Brahma Muhurta. If you feel sleepy, practice standing postures and 4 to 6 Surya Namaskars. Then answer the calls of nature and wash your face. If you are not in the habit of answering the calls of nature in the early morning, you can practice asanas without answering the call. After finishing the asanas, pranayams and meditations, you can go to the lavatory. Take bath in lukewarm water or cold water according to your capacity and convenience. Wear a langoti or kaupin or suspendary bandage or close-fitting underwear. Spread a folded blanket on the floor and practice the yogasanas over the blanket. Do not wear spectacles or loose ornaments when you do asanas. They may get damaged and may also cause injuries. If you are accustomed to take bed tea early in the mornings, after tea, practice 4 to 6 Surya Namaskars and then answer the calls of nature and start the practice. Asanas should be done on empty stomach. This is very important. In the morning or at least 3 or 4 hours after food. Half an hour gap should be there before you take heavy tiffin or bath after the practice of asanas. 1 cup of milk or tea can be taken 10 minutes after the practice of asanas. If before, then there must be an interval of at least half to 1 hour. In the beginning, each asana can be practiced for a few seconds and gradually increase the duration of time. There should not be jerks or rapid movements of the body. After the practice of asanas and pranayamas, one must sit in a comfortable posture and practice meditation at least for 10 to 30 minutes according to one's convenience. If it is not possible to practice all the asanas in the morning, one can do the standing postures and Surya Namaskars followed by Savasana. The remaining asanas and pranayamas can be practiced in the evening. Before starting Sirsasana and Pranayama, one must see that one's body and mind are calm, serene and undisturbed. If one is tired, fatigued, mentally or emotionally disturbed, then one should relax in Savasana for 10 to 15 minutes and then start the practice. Asanas should be practiced in a well ventilated clean room where there is free movement of fresh air. In cold regions, one can practice in a closed room. The floor must be even. Asanas can be practiced on sandy river beds, open airy spaces, and by the seaside also. If the practice of asanas are discontinued due to some unavoidable circumstances, there is no fear of any adverse reaction. After some days, you can again resume your practice. If you are a beginner, start the practice of asanas from Sarvangasana onwards. Try Sirsasana after Yoga Mudra. Before Sirsasana, relax 1 or 2 minutes in Savasanas. While doing Sirsasana, the brain cells should be fresh without any fatigue or tiresomeness. The body must feel completely rested. Once you master the Sirsasana, then you can do it in the beginning itself as per the sequence given in this book. Sirsasana is known as king of all asanas. Most important point is regularity is the most important factor if you want to derive the full benefits of the yoga asanas quickly. Regularity is of paramount importance. Then the second limb is pranayama. Its meaning is, the simple meaning of pranayama is regulation of breath or prana, which is the vital force. Pranayama is a method of harmonizing the breath. It also harmonizes the senses and the mind. There are many types of pranayamas. In this short duration session, we will practice only 6 pranayamas. Those are deep breathing exercises, Kapalbhati, Bhastrika, Ujjayi, Sukhapurvaka and Bhramari. Benefits. The most important benefits of the practice of pranayama is that the physical body becomes healthy. The apices of the lungs will get proper supply of oxygen. There will be an improvement in the quality and quantity of the blood in the system. All the tissues and cells will be nourished with plenty of pure blood and lymph. The process of metabolism will be carried out in an efficient manner. The practitioner will be free from diseases like cold, cough, etc. There will be lustrous face of the practitioner. The mind of the practitioner will also be empowered. Important note: pranayama exercises should be preceded by relaxation in savasana, so that the body and mind may be calm and undisturbed before starting pranayama. All the pranayama exercises should be practiced in any one of the sitting postures where head, neck and spine should be erect. Now the third limb is dhyana, concentration and meditation. Its meaning is, dhyana means concentration and meditation. The simple meaning of concentration is constantly thinking on one object or thought to the exclusion of all other objects and thoughts. When concentration is increased through a long and continuous practice, the mind reaches the state of meditation. Importance and benefits. The good effects of concentration and meditation come upon the mind. The mind will become powerful. The most important benefits of a powerful mind are: one can immensely harness the enormous capacity and potentialities of the mind, which is an ocean or a vast reservoir of powers, and utilize the same for his immense benefits both in the professional and secular life as well as in his spiritual life. One's mind will be positive, optimistic, vibrant, powerful, forceful, and energetic. One's willpower will be very, very strong. One's memory will be sharp, deep, and retentive. One's intelligence level will be very high. One's concentration power will be very deep and long lasting. One's mind will be serene, calm, quiet, and being free from oscillation. One can perform more quantity of physical and mental work with greater ease and with greater perfection. The works performed by one will be more qualitative and perfect. One can achieve success in his secular and professional as well as his spiritual pursuits. Now, prayer. Prayer is personal communication with the Almighty Supreme Lord. During prayer, one opens his mind and heart and reveals his inner thoughts and feelings before the Almighty Supreme Lord and prays to Him for necessary guidance and help. In order to acquire further knowledge on yogasanas, pranayam, concentration, and meditation, you may please study the book Youth, Arise, Awake, and Adopt the Right Path of Life, which will be presented to you on the last day of this program. From tomorrow, we will practice yogasanas, pranayam, concentration, and meditation. So, from tomorrow, please be seated at 5:30 a.m. Now let us conclude today's session by chanting early morning prayer or Pratasmarana mantra and Shanti mantra. Om Pratasmarami hrudi sanspuratatmatattvam Sachi sukhang paramahan sagatin turiyam Jat swapna jagara susuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma niskalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasisyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti